All right, shalom, shalom. I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh, Shai, Bashem, Wakakadash. Double honors to my bishops, apostles, and elders of Great Millstone, who very well. Shalom, salutations to the brothers out there pushing words, sincerity, and truth. And shalom to your elect out there. Real quick, I'm the brother Amath, and in this video, I'm going to show you how basically Esau Edom is they're engineering these cars, the newer cars mainly, these newer work trucks to have catastrophic, not just the work trucks. I know, like nobody could tell me, because the thing about it, right, in high school, my first couple of years, I went to a vocational school, meaning that I went to school to become a mechanic, right? When I worked in a mechanic shop, my first day at the mechanic shop, I was actually breaking down engines, snow-covered engines at that, and that was a wild day. I'll never forget that day because my hands were so cold. I didn't feel anything at that time, right? Until I went home and started to thaw out. That was the worst. I can't say that was the worst pain I've ever been through, but it was bad. And I always will try to do it again to where I wasn't able, I don't have to wear gloves. Because that's why I'll never forget that day, because I was never really capable to doing that again. I don't know how I did that, but yeah, man. So I know a few things about cars. I can tell if the engine is burning oil or antifreeze. There's some things I could tell, like this little thing, I'm not super experienced. I tell myself I wish I would have kept going, because that's the industry, you always got to work in things of that nature, especially if you're a good mechanic. So so I'm experienced, so I'm gonna explain to you some things, and just take it from there, how Esau Edom is basically engineering these vehicles to have catastrophic failure, not just with the work trucks, but a lot of vehicles. So basically he's gearing up towards taking gas vehicles off the road, and slowly but surely implementing electric vehicles. Case in point, man, this is disappointing to for people that are car enthusiasts. Dodge, that's people, like when they're known for making or designing cars for car enthusiasts. Case in point, the Dodge Charger, the Dodge Challenger, things of that nature, man, to compete with Ford. And they came out, what was it? I don't know. It was a Challenger, I think I seen, and it was an EV. It was an electric vehicle. And I'm just like, man, I didn't really think about it until, I was thinking about this video, like what type, when you get that type of car, that's like a man's car, to where that light turn green, you go hit that gas pedal, you hear that engine roar, ooh, that's a man's car. You do handling a beast right there. But now they got it electric, and this is like I don't get why somebody will leave their house, particularly to go out and buy a Challenger that's electric. It's like, I wouldn't get it. If you're gonna buy an electric car, buy a electric car that people been making electric cars. You're not gonna buy an electric car that they just came out with the first model, and you're gonna buy it. They're gonna have recalls. They're gonna have issues down the line, to where they're just starting out with that thing, And anybody that's experienced in cars or just electronics devices and things of that nature knows that, right? So yeah, in this video, this dude, you could tell he doesn't really know too much about cars. He's just, what they call it, reacting. So let's, fair use.
You can't buy a new Chevy truck because they trash. The Ram been trash, but they made it even more trashier with the turbos. We live in a world where even Toyota can't make a motherfucking truck right. Our last hope in this cold world was Ford.
Today's chaos. 2022.
And just, my bad, I just thought about this. And real quick, because I just thought about two brothers and another one, because when you had said Ford, right, I thought about, there's a brother that had a Ford F-150. Man, that thing had some miles on it. But I could tell, right, I could tell that engine was solid, man, because how smooth it ran. Right? Not like, when things are running rough, there's probably like a vacuum line issue, or maybe like somebody wasn't changing the oil enough to where now the piston rings are bad, to where it's, there's mad things to where you could just sense the car. It's just like, that don't sound too healthy, right? And there's two brothers that got fairly new cars. I'm not going to explain. Well, it's new. You could say 2019 and up. I'm not sure, but they got They got some like luxury cars, and I said one brother he needed a goddamn engine, and that's like it was like a 2013. Like even if it is a 2019, and you need a 2010, and then you need a whole engine because of, and then I'm thinking about the brand. I kind of remember mechanic talking about like some engines that particular we'll just say it, man. Cadillac makes. They make pretty decent engines, but like with particular models, and if you don't know particular models, they just have certain engineering flaws, and I think it was like lifting rods. So basically, lifting rod. Damn, forget it. I'm trying to explain that. It might take a while, but you'll have to dig into the engine and then replace those things, or if you don't want to pay for that, you got to just buy a whole new engine, which is like that's a lot of money, man. Even if you are keeping up with I'm just thought about another one. Even if you are thinking of keeping up with the maintenance, changing the oil on time, the air filter, what else? Little things like that, man. It's mainly that engine oil, man. Just be on time with your oil. With modern cars, and you be okay for the most part. You got your, of course, when you get modern cars, you think about the tie rods and these bushings. They're always going to need to be replaced. The starter, the battery, small things like that. But to replace a whole engine is crazy. Then there's another brother. He got a fairly new car, and he needed what was that? I think he needed a water pump, or like basically all the antifreeze was out his car. I'm like, what the. All the cars I didn't have were modern cars. Never had no like real major issues, right? But besides, even that wasn't a major issue. I had a Honda Civic, a 1996 Honda Civic 4-door. And one of the spark plugs backed out of the cylinder head, and I just replaced that in the distributor cap, and that was that car was solid, man. So man. So I'll just let this mechanic talk and play it out.
76,000 miles. Lost compression. Took the center off. Piston chunk out of the block.
What?
On the cylinder head. It's melted.
Huh?
I guess.
So grant you, right?
Fuck?
It's a possibility, but probably not true that he could have been driving the fuck out of that car, because the more you be aggressive with the car, the more you're gonna have components wear out faster than what the manufacturer might think of and stuff like that.
Nah, man, stop playing.
2.3 liter.
Man.
And let's go on with the next engine. 19 F-150 with the 5.0.
Not the 5.0.
Got a cylinder head. Cylinder 1, 2, and 3 misfire. No compression. See, 3 pistons look black. Broken piston. Broken piston number cylinder 2. And piston ring gone. It's
what?
No pan.
Yeah.
So just in case you missed it, I got you.
Broken piston.
Look. Oh, my bad. That piece that's, you could clearly see that chunk of the piston is gone. But then you notice the piston ring is gone. Where did it go? That's my question. Because you got 3 of them, for the most part.
And piston ring gone. It's
what?
No pan.
Yeah.
Oh, you said
what the fuck you supposed to buy? You can't.
So, okay, right? He said Toyota, so I was just like, come on, not Toyota. You can't say Toyota. Toyota is like that. That's that safety car. You ain't gonna get the horsepower you'll get from like Ford or Dodge or something like that. But like Toyota, that's a safe car. You got that car, they're gonna have that car for a while, right? So then I typed in Google. It says, I said, what are some of the most common, issues with the work truck or whatever? And it says, modern work trucks frequently experience issues with complex electric systems, high-tech engine lifters, and emission equipment. So, whatever, I just, but like, look, check this out. Fair use. Watch this.
For years, pickup trucks earned a reputation for being the toughest vehicles on the road. But something has changed. Consumer Reports just released its latest reliability data based on feedback from roughly 380,000 vehicle owners, and some of the results are downright shocking. We're talking about brand new trucks suffering from engine problems, electrical failures, dead batteries, malfunctioning brake systems, and software glitches. Today, I'm counting down 11 pickup trucks ranked from worst to absolute worst, breaking down the actual problems owners are reporting and revealing which truck earned the lowest reliability score of them all. Okay, kicking things off at number 11, the 2026 Toyota Tundra. Brand loyalty runs deep with Tundra owners, and that loyalty is being tested hard. The headline problem? Main bearing failures inside the 3.4-liter twin-turbo V.
Ask yourself, when is the last time you ever replaced bearings? Bearings are what sit behind the rotor of the car. So when you replace brakes and rotors, you'll, depending on what kind of car it is, you can see the bearing, right? And ask yourself, when is the last time you replaced some wheel bearings? To where you driving and you hear, it sounds like, like when you accelerating and decelerating. Those are bearings. So that's how you know you need to replace bearings. And it sounds like something extremely bad is wrong with the car.
6. We're talking bearings spinning inside the engine block, oil pressure dropping to zero, and the engine seizing. Sometimes while people...
Get out of here. My bad. I'm sorry. I thought he was talking about wheel bearings, but he's talking about in the engine block.
...doing highway speeds. Toyota blamed manufacturing debris left inside the engine during assembly. Fine. But here's what's wild. Replacement engines installed under warranty started failing the same exact way. That's not a debris problem, that's a design problem. On top of that, there are nearly 400,000 Tundras under a recall for backup cameras going completely blank, and another recall for tonneau covers flying off the bed at speed. That last one isn't just annoying, that's a road hazard for whoever's behind you. Consumer Reports surveyed owners and landed on a 41 out of 100. Best score on this list today. Number 10, Chevrolet Silverado 1500. This is the best-selling truck in America for years running, and it has a problem that Chevy simply cannot seem to fix: the V8 lifter collapse. The cylinder deactivation system has locking pins inside the lifters that are supposed to click in and out under oil pressure. When they stick, and they do stick, you get misfires, bent push rods, and chewed up cylinder heads. Chevy has issued stop sale orders on affected inventory. That means dealers are sitting on trucks they legally cannot sell until they're fixed. The TurboMax 4-cylinder option skips the lifter drama but has its own issue: a radiator hose assembly that leaks from its coupling. A cooling system failure on a daily driver is not a minor thing. Electrically, owners are dealing with low-voltage wiring harness shorts and keyless entry signals.
Nah, he was wrong. As it wasn't Chevy, it was actually Ford. He said Ford. It says the Ford F-Series has held the American selling truck for 49 consecutive years, and the best-selling overall vehicle for 44 of those years. So that was a lie.
Dropping out randomly. For a truck at this price point, that's just not acceptable. CR's owner survey put the Silverado 1500 at a 40 out of 100.
Yeah, but I'll put this in the link in the description box, but I wanted to show you also this. So, I'm not going to watch all these videos and things and that. You can look it up yourself, And I was just reading some of them. It says 4 brands, 4 new trucks, 4 failures. Don't be like Jeff, whatever. It says 11 brands, new trucks already falling apart. Consumer Report, right? It says, don't buy these trucks, massive engine failures. And I could see this one in particular, the last one, that's Ram. So, we're not ignorant, man. We ain't dumb. We know what he's doing, man. Esau Edom got the elites, from what I was thinking about, because Dodge, and the Dodge discontinuing the Charger and the Challenger is wild. And then to make it an electric vehicle is it's even more bonkers. And I was thinking about how they're trying to mix this, how they turning men into women and women into men. What they doing to these cars, man? I said, that's a lie, because I'm just like, who the hell will drive that? Knowing that's supposed to be a muscle car. It's just like whatever, man. It's just like now you got the guys that was driving those Prius driving the damn Challenger. And we know everybody that drives on the highway, and we're not saying Jake be speeding or anything, but the Prius be driving too slow. They don't be doing the speed limit, right? So let's get ahead. So this is 2 Corinthians 2:11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, right? Unless he's gonna pull over the wool over our eyes, piss on our legs, and tell us it's raining. He says, it says, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We know, man. We know that he got things set up to where you're gonna fall into place, or we're gonna delete you. And what just passed with the whole small hats, the yellow diddles linking up with the Americans, like the little diddle government linking up with America, and it's causing it's basically going to cause anarchy. Like, a lot of people are upset with that, So that's how like when the IMF come over here, those troops, man, there was already reports of them basically taking 15-year-olds and selling them out to men. And they were saying that's the best fun. So a lot of these women are going to be in trouble, man. And I was thinking to myself, like, damn, these people really don't know. They're truly in the trick bag. They've got plans 5 years, 10 years down the line, not knowing, like, the IMF is getting ready to come over here and start getting loose, man. You already see how they be doing, man. They consider us as the heathen, not knowing they the heathen, man. All right, let me just grab this and we get out of here. I got a little bit there. The water got Bashim, I read the whole thing. Un momento, porfa. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it is right there, 12. It says, let me just see what this 11 says. No. Safety. All right, we'll just start at 12. He says, he disappointed the devices of the crafty. Man, he's going to, look, basically all of this technocracy and having smart cities and chipping everybody, it's going to basically fall on him. Well, him trying to restrict food and water and things of that nature, just basically turning this America into one big concentration camp, all right? So that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Yeah, basically them chipping the whole world, they ain't going to be able to perform that, man. How about Shemi Awashai is going to step in? So that's why we keep our faith. And then at that, it's beautiful. This script, this chapter is so beautiful because it talked about what during the time of famine we gonna eat, we gonna be good. These are because we trust in the Lord. We're the servants. So that's how we when we cross that threshold of like where the Lord's putting the test to us, right? Because He's always throwing tests. So when you pass that test, that's when you get your reward. Or when you basically complete your mission, that's when you're going to get your reward. But these people, they're going to break. They're going to fold because they haven't been pressure tested enough to where they're going like, nah, I trust in the Lord. I don't care how my body feels, my nervous system saying this and saying that. But my spirit been built up so strong, so tough that I will not be, I'm not mentally able to go to it, please the listen to the flesh. It says, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. They meet the dark. Yeah, but that's pretty much it, man. The Lord gonna take these people in their own craftiness. But let me head and grab some of this at the bottom because it was beautiful, man. I guess I get this. 1 second. Yeah, that's beautiful. And we'll start at 17. We'll jump down to 17. It says, behold, happy is the man who the most Yahweh Shem Yahushua corrective. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty, for he maketh sore and bindeth up. He woundeth and his hands make whole. And that's the thing, man. We're going to get bruised up in these end times, man. And not everything is going to be perfect, but the thing about it is just completing the mission in whole. It says, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yeah. And 7, there shall no evil touch thee, right? So that's the thing, man. You ain't going to die. Of course, it's always balanced to it. You're going to have some to be martyrs, witnesses, But then whole time, that's the thing too. You never know. It says, the scripture says, be thou faithful unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. So sometimes, the Lord might bring certain individuals back just to complete a new task, a new mission. So you always got to think that. And it's beautiful, spiritual, how the top prophets, the top teachers of Yasha Allah, they're basically, you can see the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai shining on them and shining on us, shining, even myself, man. You see how the faith that we're going to need and to basically to overcome, and always trusting in him with all our mind, body, and soul. Do not let that go, right? It says, no evil shall touch us. Verse 20, it says, in famine he shall render thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. That's the thing, man. We see the troops coming in, like, we're not going to be scared. We know the Lord going, he's going to pressure test us. But it's all about keeping the faith and just trusting in the Lord. Throw up them prayers. You be all right, You might not be great, but just be good. You get through it. It says, thou shalt be hid from the scourge. Verse 22, it says, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. We're going to laugh. Oh, because we're going to receive spiritual powers. It says we're going to be like sparks going across the stubble. It says, what's it, in Isaiah 40, we're gonna mount up like wings, our wings, man, the Lord's gonna give us spiritual powers. We're gonna be doing things that we didn't know we could do. That gets me excited. I was like, oh man, what? Hey, the Lord, what? Even healing people, disappearing. Oh, the brother had the testimony where he said, the dude hopped out the car. He said, does it hurt when you He said, does it hurt when you, he said, does it hurt? Or something like that. He's like, what you talking about, man? Does it hurt? Because you said, I just seen you over there. Now I see you over here. Does it hurt when you teleport like that? It kind of, threw the Jake off that gave the testimony. But, like, those are the things we're going to be doing in these end times, Teleportation, getting spiritual powers, healing. Beautiful, man. Disappearing. Same thing with teleportation. But, or even, like, like I said, disappearing. You could be like, I'm not sure the dude's name, man. Get ahead and we gonna be shape shifting, or like what is that? Yeah, like turning into, we could be like chameleons or something like that. Because the Lord is far out, man. You got what? And it said that's the thing about this truth, because it says it's gonna be like a time. Real quick, this is Daniel's 12:1. It says, at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince. And that's another thing, man. You're going to have angels, man, appear and do miracles, do wonders works. It says, that great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. And that's the thing, man. It's going to be some bad times. Bad. But it's not going to come nigh thee. Right? We'll just say this shit off and I'll stop. All right. It's lucky. There you go. 5. Let's finish it off. And then we'll be out. It says, for thou, verse 23, it says, for thou shall be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. And thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit thy inhabitation, and shalt not sin. It says, thou shalt know also that thy seed shall be great, and thy offspring as grass of the earth. Thou shalt come to thy grave in full age, like as a stock of corn cometh in and in his season. Lo, this we have searched it, so it is. Hear it and know that it for thy good. So with that, I pray and hope that you was motivated in the spirit to seek the Lord 10 times more, edified and comforted. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakadash, double honors to my bishops, apostles, elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, salutations to the brothers out there pushing the words of Syrian truth and Shalom.